Hi, I'm Joanne McAllister. I've been coming to the church since Lily and her parents have been coming. That's probably about 4 or 5 years now.
My name is Lily and I'm 7 years.
Hi, we're the Jorzaks. I'm Mike Jorzak.
I'm Colleen.
I'm Hannah, I'm 13. I'm Molly, I'm 12. I'm Maggie.
My name is Linda French, and I've been a member of the New Boston Community Church since 1982. At that time, my husband Charlie and I had moved into the community, and we wanted to meet our neighbors and become active members here in New Boston. We had both grown up attending church with our families and wanted to continue to do that in our new location.
I've been coming to church since I was a baby.
When I was raised as a kid, we would go to church every single week as a family, and when Colleen and I got married and had kids, that was important to us to have that same type of environment for our family, expose our children to the church and to Jesus and to just being a part of the community in that way was something that was
Community
important.
church is a very important part of my life. I feel that when I come to church on a Sunday morning, not only do I participate in the service by being a member of the choir, which I enjoy immensely, but also I receive a great deal from the congregation, the friends I have here, the words of the sermon. Woody always has a message that touches me in some way. Sunday morning allows me to recreate myself for the week ahead. Sometimes, for all of us, work can be very stressful. And this is a place I come to refresh and renew and remind myself of what's important.
It comes to me when the quiet of the church, right before Brendan begins his prelude, listening to that and then hearing the choir. We are so fortunate to have the choir that we have. It is such a joy to hear them sing.
Well, I feel like our girls this is like a second home to them. They've grown up here. So many of their friends and the families that we know have also grown up here. So I love the introduction or the announcement period where everyone is so relaxed. They're happy to see each other. It's like a big family gathering, and you just see so many people feel comfortable with each other, and you see kids sitting with families that aren't even their own or sitting with their friends, and it's just a nice feeling.
I remember going to church as a kid and it was very formal. It was very kind of, you have to sit up straight, you have to make sure you're dressed up. I didn't always leave feeling great at the end of church, and I remember the very first time we came to this church and kind of looking around and checking out the scene, and Woody's up there doing his morning announcements, and he grabs a book. He says, "Oh yeah, by the way, did anyone lose their spelling book?" And I just thought there was no way that ever would have happened in the church.
One of the most memorable times that I've had here at the community church was on 9/11. The number of people who came to this church to find support and solace and comfort and reassurance was incredible. And standing in a packed church building with people all of one mind, of wanting to support one another, reaching in their pockets to give money for folks who needed it. That was a tremendous experience for me, and I don't think I'll ever...
Like at Christmas and Thanksgiving, when we do those big baskets of food, and we give them to people who really need them, and I just feel really, it's fun helping when
I like church because the Sunday school teachers are nice and they always teach us about God.
I like Woody because he makes me feel comfortable where I am, and I like how he does the children's sermon because it's lots of fun.
I think that Woody brings so much to this church and this community. He's so outgoing and embraces everyone, is interested in everyone, and wants to be sure that everyone is included. I think that's the message of the New Boston Community Church.
It's hectic. I think about the time that we get to spend here. It's a nice opportunity to, things slow down a little bit. I can sit in church and just listen to Woody and appreciate the messages that he's sharing with us and just kind of reflect. It helps provide a little balance. for our lives.
It was of that week that my son was rushed to CMC, the emergency room, and his father came up from Florida to be with him, and so we all came to church the next week. And we were leaving, and Don, his father, went up to Woody and said, "My son is seriously ill. He's in intensive care. Would you say some prayers for him?" And then he turned around and left. And the next day, he was in the room with David, our son, and Woody came in and talked to the nurse, and with that little bit of description that he didn't know who he was talking to. The nurse came in to Dawn in the room and said, "There's a minister who thinks he might know your son. Would you like to talk to him?" And of course, Dawn knew who he was, and he came. And it was just his compassion. Woody came to see David probably once a week for 6 months while he was at CMC. And that's a tie that just can't be broken.
And, as a family, we do the Strawberry Festival, but we've helped do the duck race, we've helped with the dinners, so we try to get involved. We've helped teach a lot of Sunday school classes, we've helped write a lot of the lessons. The girls are really creative in helping come up with some fun activities.
I try to be involved. I try to volunteer as much as I can. It's fun. The people are fun. You have a great time. I'll tell you who got me started was Judy Herman. We had a long conversation, and she was the one that said, "Hey, if you want to get to know the people in the church," well, she wanted me to come and take part in the dinners, and I've been doing that ever since.
Like helping for the Strawberry Festival.
Colleen loves to sign me up for all sorts of stuff. I was here a few weeks ago flipping pancakes at Rally Day. It's always a good time.
I flipped pancakes at Rally Day too.
I make a pledge to the church annually. First of all, because it's something I grew up doing. My family was a pledging family, and it was part of my Christian education that Christians who want to support the work of the church make sure that they make a financial contribution in addition to their contribution of time and talents. So every year I make sure that I carefully think about what my pledge might be, what I can afford to do, and how that might benefit the church.
And as being on part of the session, I've been able to see the budget and see that the money actually comes from us as donors. So if we're able to contribute, it makes such a difference, because then, I mean, not only are we paying the electricity bills, to heat the church, there's just that basic financial part that is so important. And from there, the other programs and activities are able to be funded as well. So I think from that financial point, think about your own family budget. We're just contributing to the family budget, but on a bigger scale.
I think it's important to help out where you can. That's a big reason why we pledge. I think about a lot of the things that the church is involved in, between the food pantry. I know they discreetly as well help other folks in town that need help. I know Woody's also done special offerings for folks in town that have fell in hard times or need a little assistance. And that's a big reason for me why we're involved in the church and why pledging is so important to us.
We have to. We have to have a budget. We have to know how we're going to get the supplies for the church. The building is an old building. We needed a new furnace last year. We have the Michelles of the church who need money for Sunday school supplies and for the Sunday school and the youth. We have the Louises of the church who need supplies for keeping the grounds up. We have the salary to pay, and the Locks who have to organize, and the Mike Powells and the Bill Vickeries who have to clean up the church, and the sexton who comes out in the middle of winter and cleans the outside and the inside before our services. There's just so much that has to be done behind the scenes to help the people that help the church.
From a pledging perspective, I don't necessarily care where the money goes. I think about all the activities and all the things that the church does for this town. I think about the dance classes that the kids have taken here, the meetings, the youth group, all the things that, you know, outside from church on Sundays. But the churches contribute so much to the community, and I feel like it's important to us as a family that we contribute to that and we engage in that and we help with that cause, and it makes the town.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share with you today, and I hope that you will seriously consider your pledge to the church. The church needs your support in order to continue all the vital programs it provides and to pay for the services of our excellent minister and staff.
Thank you for listening. We thank you for listening. And I hope you'll pledge.
Thanks for listening and have a good day.
Thanks for listening. I hope you pledge too.